Good Thursday morning, everyone. This is the cover of one of my books. Okay, I've talked about it before, and this morning I'm going to talk about it more because I'm getting ready to speak uh, at the Mosaic Lodge 218 in Livermore, California. I'm going to speak at their Feast of St. John this coming Saturday. So if you're in the Bay Area, you don't have to be a Mason, but the link is there, and you can attend that event because I'm going to be speaking about kind of esoteric things relating to Masonry. Anyway, uh, this is a book that is you probably don't have. If you have a lot of other of my books, this one may have escaped you. Uh, the Key to Solomon's Key is this the lost symbol of Freemasonry? The first edition subtitle was um, uh, let's see, I forget what the subtitle was. Solomon's Key, um, uh, Magic, Masonry, and the Knights Templar, or something like that. Um, but anyway, it is from the good folks at CCC Publishing. That's Consortium of Collective Consciousness. So if you want to order it's you can order it from Amazon and Barnes and Noble. You can order it anywhere. Um, but if you're at all interested in the esoteric end of Freemasonry as it has developed over uh, the centuries, and if you're sort of interested in why there seems to be a Knights Templar connection and what all of that has to do with Solomonic magic, you might want to read this book. Um, and so I've got this on the brain because I'm preparing my talk and my slides for Saturday's talk in Livermore. But a big Masonic superstar, American Masonic superstar of the 19th century, the man responsible for uh, in my opinion anyway, the popularization of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. That's the 30, 32, 33 degrees. Um, that's a concordant body after the standard Blue Lodge, 3 degrees. Uh, and it is, he was an esoteric scholar, okay, par excellence. And he wrote tons of stuff. There wouldn't be a Scottish Rite as we know it, okay, in the United States anyway, without Albert Pike. And my dad was a Scottish Rite 32nd degree Mason, very proud of it. And in those days, and I think they're doing it again now. Uh, oh, I'm a Scottish Rite Mason myself. Um, but in my dad's day, when you received your 32nd degree, they presented you a copy of Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma. Okay, it's a very thick book. Every 32nd degree got one, so you can find them in used bookstores all over the place. And there's some editions that that have almost a third of them, the third of the back section of these beautiful hardbound books is just the index, okay, And in that index, there is 4 or 5 full pages of references to Kabbalah. And he spells it with a K and 2 B's, Kabbalah. Okay. And here's what Pike says. The Hermetic science of the early Christian ages, cultivated also by the Arabs, studied by the chiefs of the Templars, and embodied in certain symbols of the higher degrees of Freemasonry, may be accurately defined as the Kabbalah in active realization, or the magic of the works. Okay, I cannot imagine a more concise distillation of what I wish to communicate by writing this book. In one breath, Pike manages to link early Christianity, Arab scholars, the Templars, Freemasonry, Kabbalah, and Magick. His words also afford me the opportunity to touch briefly on one vitally important and fundamental axiom of this spiritual science called Hermeticism. Okay, and that one is least centered around the axiom, it is true and no lie, certain and to be depended upon, that the superior agrees with the inferior and the inferior with the superior to effect that one truly wonderful work. Okay, as above, so below. These words reveal a cosmos, the cosmos, to be a hierarchy of repeating patterns. Like the keys of a piano, the notes that comprise the octaves of the worlds above have their direct counterparts and vibrate sympathetically with the octaves of the worlds below. The superior agrees with the inferior, as above, so below. Armed with this knowledge, one becomes, in the truest sense of the term, a magician, a Solomon, a person who can effect positive changes, positive life changes in conformity to his or her enlightened will. It's as simple as that. However, that is more easily said than done. And there are a few things we must also keep in mind in order to make as above, so below actually work for us. These I presumptuously call the 7 secrets of Solomon. They are secrets of magic, yes, but they are also secrets of masonry. For through her rituals, traditions, and teachings, the ancient craft of Freemasonry conveys these same secrets to anyone who has eyes to see and ears to hear. And then I give the 7 secrets and a couple paragraphs that sort of describe them. I'm just going to give you the title of the 7 secrets at the moment. Number 1, the individual is the fundamental unit. Now, you could say fundamental unit of the family, the society, the nation, the tribe, the race. Yes, and more. The individual is the fundamental unit. It doesn't sound like much of a secret, but it's a very big one. If you can't swallow this, you'll never be a magician. We are, each one of us, our own self-contained Solomon. We are suns, not planets, atoms, not molecules, kings and queens, not subjects. The fundamental unit of society is not the family, not the community, not the nation, not the church, but you and I. Until we come to full realization of this fundamental truth, we remain like unenlightened crusaders, fighting and dying for someone else's absurd fantasy cause. Slaves to arbitrary and impersonal outside entities, unable to recognize, let alone fulfill, our human potential. This profound and unassuming secret is expressed in Freemasonry by the simple admonition that we must first improve and perfect ourselves as individuals, so better to understand and assist our families, communities, and nations. I broke my own rule there. I read the commentary on it. I'm sorry. I just think it's so important. Anyway, Solomon's secret number 2, human beings are inherently good. And by that I mean a good that swallows up little goods and little evils. A good that is non-dual. Okay, and I go on to... as we learned in chapter 10, okay, we come toe-to-toe with the doctrines of original sin and the total depravity of man. You ain't got that in Freemasonry, okay, those things. Masonry teaches that a fund of science and industry is implanted in man for the best, most salutary, and most beneficent purposes. Okay, that would be something that the Apostle Paul would just be shocked at thinking. Okay. But that's a digression of its own. Okay. Solomon's secret number 3, human beings evolve and with intent can accelerate the evolutionary process. This secret has been the foundation of the spiritual practices of the East for millennia, but in the West, it's been successfully suppressed by religious doctrine and cultural interests since the 5th century. Okay, but that's secret number 3, human beings evolve and with intent can accelerate the evolutionary process. Solomon's secret number 4, all is consciousness. In the 3rd degree, Master Masons are informed, and this is all monitorial stuff, for public consumption. I'm not giving away secrets here. It is the inspiration of that great divinity whom we adore that bears the nearest resemblance of affinity to that supreme intelligence which pervades all nature and which will never, never, never die. All is consciousness. Okay. Then I give quotes. Consciousness is the basis of all life, field of all possibilities, nature to expand and unfold its full potential. I think that's the Maharishi. I give modern quotes that are scientifically affirming all is consciousness. Okay. Solomon's secret number 5, deity, archangels, angels, intelligences, spirits, demons, and you and I are personifications of a hierarchy of consciousness. Deity is obviously at the top of the hierarchy of consciousness, or the singularity. The supreme consciousness, the supreme being, all creation is the play in the mind of God. Okay, and then I go about this hierarchy in the same way Masonry and the myth of Masonry divides the workmen of the temple. Okay. like archangels, angels, spirits, and there's so many of them. And okay, Solomon's secret number 6. It's our duty to master and redirect the lower forces to constructive ends. And that's where the builder comes in. Spiritual evolution does not occur in a vacuum. Our consciousness is raised because vibratory room has been made above to accommodate it. We are promoted to boss when our boss is promoted to a bigger boss. As above, so below. With authority comes responsibility. Once awakened our true spiritual status, we realize that we are actually in charge of a roughneck crew of demons, or aspects of our lower consciousness. Unless we immediately demonstrate who's the boss and get these guys busy working on our temple, they will soon gain the upper hand and return to running amok at our expense. The secret is innocuously revealed to the newly raised Master Mason when he is told. As a Master Mason, you are authorized to correct the irregularities of your less informed brethren, to fortify their minds with resolution against the snares of the insidious, and to guard them against every allurement to vicious practices. His completed temple is the microcosmic replica in stone of deity itself, fashioned so perfectly it reflects the macrocosmic perfection of God. And finally, the Solomon secret number 7 was, as we are raised, so must we raise. The great 19th century magician Eliphas Levi wrote a marvelous little poem called The Magician that perfectly illustrates this greatest of Masonic secrets. I can think of no better way to conclude my little talk today by sharing it with you. It's called The Magician. O Lord, deliver me from hell's great fear and gloom. Loose thou my spirit from the larvae of the tomb. I seek them in their dread abodes without a fright. On them will I impose my will, the law of light. I bid the night conceive the glittering hemisphere. Arise, O sun, arise, O moon, shine white and clear. I seek them in their dread abodes without a fright. On them will I impose my will, the law of light. Their faces and their shapes are terrible and strange. These devils by my might to angels I will change. These nameless horrors I address without a fright. On them will I impose my will, the law of light. These are phantoms, pale of mine astonished view, yet none but I their blasted beauty can renew. For to the abyss of hell I plunge without a fright. On them will I impose my will, the law of light. Okay, I have to get to work to give the Masons worth their give them their money's worth, which will be easy because I never charge for Masonic things. Anyway, the book I'm reading from that if you don't have, and the good folks at the Consortium of Collective Consciousness would absolutely appreciate every once in a while, give them a reason for keeping this one of my favorite books. It is Constance's favorite book, I think, along with Ask Babylon, believe it or not. The key to Solomon's key. Is this the lost symbol of Masonry? And at the very back of it is a handbook for Goetic evocation, Handbook of Solomonic Magic. But in order to do it, you need to be a Solomon. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. To love under will.